I'm a magician, have been for almost 40 years, and there's one piece of stagecraft that every magician learns before almost anything else. If something loud is happening in one hand, don't watch that hand. Watch the other one, because the loud hand isn't the trick. It's the cover for the trick. I want you to keep that idea in your back pocket for the next few minutes, because we're about to walk through two articles, one patent filing, and one real partnership between an insurance company and an automaker. And once you line them all up, you're going to see a pattern, and I don't think it's an accident. Welcome back to the Airing of Grievances, where every week we advocate on behalf of consumers who typically don't plan on making collision repair decisions, but they get thrust into them because of an accident or an insurance company that refuses to pay the full amount of a claim for a proper repair, or a body shop that cuts corners to save their insurance company partners thousands of dollars. I'm Eric Reamer with Nylunds Collision Center in Englewood, Colorado, and Rob sent me an article this week. It came out of the insurance technology world, and the headline argument was simple. Insurance fraud is exploding, and the industry needs to catch it earlier, right at what's called first notice of loss, or FNOL. That's the very first report of a crash before anything else has happened. Now, while I was digging into that piece, doing research for this exact video, I ran across a second story, and this one is a patent filed by General Motors, and it describes an in-vehicle system that would let two cars, after a collision, automatically exchange driver information, insurance information, and vehicle data with each other. Not you deciding to share that, your car deciding. And then, while I was putting this script together, a third piece of information landed in my lap. State Farm just announced that it's partnering with Toyota and Lexus through a company called Connected Analytic Services, so that eligible 2020 and newer Toyota and Lexus owners can let their vehicles send crash data straight to State Farm's app after an accident. Three separate stories, three separate companies, same week, same industry, same direction. And once you see all three side by side, the question stops being, is this convenient? And starts being, who actually benefits here? Now, before we get into the details, I want to be upfront about something. Most folks working a claim desk are trying to do a fair job inside a system that's way bigger than any one of them. Let's give the fraud argument its due, because it's not nothing. The article that Rob sent to me cited a Verisk study that found nearly 2,000 duplicate claim photos recycled across almost 1,500 separate claims, adding up to over $5 million in fraudulent payouts. It pointed to a jump in property claims, a surge in catastrophe claims, and fraud rings now using AI to generate fake documents that even experienced adjusters can't catch by eye. The piece argued that by the time a special investigation unit opens a file, the damage is already done, so the industry needs to move fraud detection upstream to the moment that a claim first comes in the door. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that insurance fraud isn't real. It is. It costs everybody money, because when a fraudulent claim gets paid, that cost gets spread across every policyholder's premium. Nobody in this industry, including us, wants to defend people that are gaming the system. But here's what I noticed reading that article more than once. Nowhere in it does anyone say, once we get the fraud costs under control, here's what the savings means for your rate. Not a sentence. No promise. Just a projection that insurers could save somewhere between, get this, $80 and $160 billion industry-wide by 2032. 80 to 160 billion. And not one word about where that money goes once they got it. That's the loud hand. Fraud is real, and it's the perfect story to tell, because who's going to argue against catching fraud? Nobody. That's exactly why it works as the story you're supposed to be watching. So what's the other hand doing? Getting first notice of loss earlier doesn't just mean catching a doctored photo faster. It means the insurance company gets its hands on more of your personal data sooner, before you've had a chance to think through what you actually want to do. And once they have that data, what happens to it? Maybe it helps process your claim. Maybe it gets used to build a risk profile on you. Maybe it gets sold to a data broker. Maybe it factors into whether your policy renews at the same rate, a higher rate, or renews at all. All of those are real possibilities. None of them are conspiracy theories. They're just business models that already exist in other corners of the insurance and data industries. And there's nothing stopping them from showing up here too. Now lay the GM patent on top of that. This isn't a rumor, it's a real patent published this June, and it describes a system where, after a crash, your car and the other car detect the collision, verify each other's identity, and automatically exchange encrypted collision reports, including your driver insurance information. Your vehicle would be reporting the accident and reporting your insurance details as part of an automatic handshake between two cars. You'd see a decrypted summary pop up on your dashboard after the fact. Dig into the actual patent language, and it gets more specific than most people realize. The system uses cameras, radar, LiDAR, accelerometers, even your brake pedal to figure out that a collision happened in the first place. Then it scans the area around your car for a matching signal from the other vehicle. It runs a verification process to confirm that that vehicle is really the one that you hit, and only then swaps encrypted insurance and driver records between the two cars. It's built to prevent the classic roadside scene. Two strangers standing on the shoulder of a busy road exchanging insurance cards while traffic whips past them. I understand the safety logic. Standing on the side of I-25 copying down a stranger's policy number is genuinely dangerous. But notice what got automated in the name of solving that problem. Not a phone call, not a text message, an encrypted exchange of your insurance record and a ton of your personal data, handled entirely by your vehicle, with a summary appearing on your dash and the dash of the other person after the fact, once it's already been sent. And now, the State Farm and Toyota deal. This one's already live, not theoretical. As of this summer, if you own a newer Toyota or Lexus and you're insured through State Farm, you can opt in through the app to let your car send crash data like speed, direction of travel, and point of impact straight to your claims adjuster. State Farm's own language calls this objective vehicle-derived insight into loss events, which is a polite way of saying your car is now a witness that testifies before you do, and potentially against you. Worth noting, GM's been building towards this for a couple of years now too. Back in late 2024, they rolled out an app called Collision Assistance, letting drivers document a minor accident scene themselves and search for certified repair shops. Earlier this summer, they expanded it so owners could launch it on their own for smaller incidents that don't trigger OnStar. On its own, that's a genuinely useful tool, but it's also the on-ramp. First, you get a helpful app. Then you get a patent that automates the data exchange between two cars. Then an insurer partners directly with the automaker's data arm. Each step looks reasonable by itself. Line them up, though, and you can watch the industry build the exact pipeline this whole conversation is about, one convenient feature at a time. Put all three of those next to each other. An industry-wide push to grab claim data earlier. A patent that lets cars report each other's insurance information automatically, and an active partnership where a major insurer is already plugged directly into an automaker's data pipeline. That's not three unrelated headlines. That's one direction, moving fast, and consumers are the last one being told about it. And here's what nobody's told us yet, and I think it matters more than anything else in this conversation. Nobody's said what actually triggers one of these systems. Is it an airbag deployment? A sensor threshold? Would backing into your own mailbox count? Would a teenager tapping a parent's bumper in the driveway set it off? What about a fender bender on private property where you'd rather just pay out of pocket and never file a claim at all? Because here's the thing people forget. A collision isn't automatically an insurance claim. Plenty of good reasons exist for not looping in your insurer right away. Maybe the damage is minor and you'd rather handle it yourself. Maybe someone else caused the wreck and you plan to go through their coverage, not yours. Maybe you just want to talk to a repair shop first and find out whether you're looking at a scratched bumper or a bent frame before anybody starts building a claim file with your name on it. Under the old system, you get to make that call. You decided when or if your insurer found out. These new systems start to take that decision out of your hands, sometimes before you've even climbed out of the driver's seat. Now let's bring this back to what we actually do here at Nylunds, because this touches your repair too, not just your privacy. Whoever shapes the first version of your claim shapes everything that follows. The first estimate, the first shop recommendation, the first assumption about what's damaged and what isn't. And a photo or a sensor reading or an automated data handshake between two vehicles can't tell you whether your car needs a full teardown, a scan, a structural measurement, or a calibration. Only a real inspection can do that. Technology can move fast. Repair still needs to be done right. So here's the real conflict of interest, and it's worth saying plainly. The same insurance company that's supposed to be paying for your repair is now helping build and directly plug into the very technology that decides how fast your claim gets shaped and where it gets steered. That's not a hypothetical anymore. That's the State Farm and Toyota deal right now in 2026. When the entity footing the bill also has a hand in the intake pipeline and how much it costs to repair, ask yourself honestly, who does that arrangement actually serve? Picture this. You're backing out of a parking spot in the grocery store and you clip another bumper, barely a scratch. You'd normally trade names, maybe just pay for it yourself and move on with your afternoon. But if your car's wired into one of these systems and it reads that bump as a qualifying collision event, your insurer could already have a record of it before you're even finished apologizing to the other driver. You never decided to file a claim. Your car decided it for you. Maybe that never affects your rate. Maybe it never comes up again. Or maybe 3 years from now at renewal, somebody pulls a data file that shows a parking lot bump that you don't even remember, and it factors into a number that you'll never get a clear explanation for. Right now, nobody outside these companies can tell you which of those it'll be, and that uncertainty alone should give you pause. So if you take one thing away from this video, take this list of questions, because these are the ones worth asking before you ever sign up for one of these connected car claims features or before you assume your car isn't already capable of doing this. Do you know what data your vehicle is set up to share and with whom? Do you have a real choice to say, not yet, after an accident or before anything gets transmitted? Can you talk to a repair professional before your insurer starts shaping how your claim gets handled and by whom? And can you still pick your own shop, the one you actually trust, instead of getting funneled towards wherever the fastest data pipeline happens to point? Those aren't paranoid questions. They're just the basic ones a reasonable person should be able to answer about their own car and about their own claim. We are not anti-technology here. We use it every single day, and modern vehicles genuinely require it. What we're against is technology getting used to move decisions upstream ahead of the moment when you actually understand what you're agreeing to. Speed isn't the same thing as service. And when a company frames faster data collection as consumer convenience, it's worth asking what convenience it's actually solving for. Theirs or yours? Go back to that magic trick for a second. The loud hand waves fraud prevention and customer convenience. Fair enough. Watch it if you want. But the real move is happening in the other hand, where your data moves faster than your consent, and where a repair decision can start forming before you've even decided you want one made. Your car shouldn't file a claim before you do. Your data shouldn't travel faster than your permission, and your repair shouldn't get shaped by the same company that's supposed to be paying for it. And by the way, I bet you didn't even notice that the color of my shirt changed about halfway through this video. That's it for this week's airing of grievances. If this one got you thinking or got you a little fired up, that's exactly the point. Drop us a comment, hit the like button, and share this with anyone you know that will find it valuable. I'm Eric, and I want to thank you for watching all the way to the end. Happy Saturday.